What is Crazy Dave hiding? That's what I want to know. And today, I'm going to be answering that question. First, let's let Dave introduce himself. Greetings, neighbor. The name is Crazy Dave, but you can just call me Crazy Dave. Listen, I've got a surprise for you, but first, I'll need you to clear your lawn. Use your shovel and dig up those plants. Let the digging commence. Okay, goody. Now for the surprise. We're going bowling. Here, take this walnut. Why'd I put a walnut in your hand? Because I'm crazy. Now go bowl me a winner. NPCs that give guidance are often seen as more wise and mature than the player. Crazy Dave is exactly like that, but 100 times the stupidity. His silly looking appearance, his eccentric behavior, and speaking absolute gibberish is what attributes to his goofiness. Crazy Dave doesn't actually say his full name when he is first introduced to the player, but according to my research, his name is Christopher David Blazing III. Other names include Carney Dave, Fogman, David, Deranged David, User Dave, Creator Dave, Uncle Dave. He's based on a real-life game designer and former PopCat Games employee called David Roll. And if you're wondering who's the person behind the voice of Crazy Dave, it would be George Fan and Orion Akaba. What would you say Crazy Dave's age is? Well, if you said 37 years old, you're wrong. If you guessed 36 years old, you would be correct. This was also confirmed by PopCat. We also know quite a bit about Crazy Dave's family. First, there's Crazy Dave's brother, Evil Dave. Not sure why he's also called Dave. He only appears in the Chinese version of Plants vs Zombies 2. If you couldn't tell by his name for whatever reason, he's evil, and he also has a plant army which the player fights against. And there's also Brave Dave, his younger brother, also named Dave. You know, I'm starting to see a pattern here. Brave Dave appears in Plants vs Zombies Social Edition. We don't know much about him, but apparently he's the mayor of Plant Town, and he gets his brain eaten, so he's replaced by Crazy Dave. Patrice, who is Crazy Dave's niece, appears in the comics and PvZ 3. And Crazy Dave also has a cousin called Ralph, who is mentioned somewhere, I don't know where. Last but not least, we have Crazy Dave's pet pig, Twister, who appears in the third game, I think. Despite his goofiness, I actually think Crazy Dave is a secret mastermind. Here's why. First of all, in the comics it said that his gibberish voice is actually just him speaking his own language called DaveSpeak. Fluency in a language is achieved by knowing over 10,000 words, so at minimum, Dave probably has created over 10,000 words that we can't understand. His knowledge is just beyond our understanding. Now, let's talk about Penny. We don't exactly know how Penny was made, but my guess is that Crazy Dave made her. Well, how does Crazy Dave manage to make a time machine? Personally, I think this comment on the wiki explains it the best. I think Crazy Dave made Penny from the original Zombots remnants, as we can see how Zombots travels in time in his new Zombots in PvZ 2. Now it's time for a silly little theory that I made up. Crazy Dave is possibly a zombie, and here's why. In ancient Egypt, Dr. Zombos was inferring that there was brains in his taco. Crazy Dave doesn't actually remember what was inside his taco. Then he remembers that there wasn't any meat after the player beats day 25 of Egypt. However, Crazy Dave actually could be wrong here, since there was meat inside his taco, proven in the visualization of the taco. But then, there's always the possibility of it being fake meat. And plus, you don't have to be a zombie to eat brains. He could have just accidentally ate the brains. So, we're gonna need more evidence. On day 25 of Far Future, Dr. Zombos claims that Dave is a sleeper agent and will turn on the player upon saying hypnozomnosis. Crazy Dave then asks the player if he can borrow the player's brains, but then he says he meant to say hot sauce. Honestly, I'm kind of finding Dave to be a bit suspicious, but it's still most likely that Dave is probably a normal person who's being played around with by Zombos. Now it's time for a little fun fact. Do you know Crazy Dave hates cats as he sings a song, How You Should Never Trust a Cat? And he also has an anti-cat net and anti-catnip. This is also shown in Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2, as DaveBot 3000's password is 123 Crazy Dave hates cats. And also, Zombos designed his Infinity Time robot after a cat. Now, have you ever wondered what car Crazy Dave drives? Well, If you have for some reason, here's the answer. According to the now taken down README file from the PopCap website in 2010, it is revealed that the car he owns and uses at his shop is a Toyota Corolla. Now, have you ever wondered what's under the pot on his head? Well, it's literally nothing. Honestly, I actually thought he was actually hiding something there. Anyways, that's the video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And once again, thank you to the Plants vs Zombies wiki for making this video actually possible. And as always, have a wonderful day.